Wardenclyffe was torn down and scrapped in 1915 to satisfy Tesla's creditors. So would it have worked? There's plenty of arguments on both sides, even today. Personally, I was a skeptic. After all, radio transmitters today are far more powerful than Wardenclyffe, yet they only deliver fractions of a microwatt to receiver antennas. So how could Wardenclyffe possibly deliver kilowatts? But then one day, I witnessed a bizarre electrical accident. I actually caused this accident by leaving this poor clip lead connected across the primary terminals of a coil. But what's interesting here is that when the coil burned this clip lead, the coil itself was disconnected from everything and actually stored away in the corner of the lab. At the time, we were running a similar coil across the room when somebody started yelling about smoke. After finding the smoldering clip lead hanging from the disconnected coil, I just stared at it for a long moment in disbelief and wondering, what in the hell just happened? So, of course, the first thing we did was try to recreate the accident. We pulled the stored coil out and set it up here as the receiving coil, and the other coil we set up as the transmitting coil. And both these coils are tuned to the same frequency. And instead of a clip lead, we gave the receiving coil 800 watts worth of light bulbs as a test load. Now, I thought 800 watts would be more than enough, but the receiving coil could actually drive these way beyond 800 watts if the transmitting coil got any closer than 5 meters. This made no sense to me at all, since the electric coupling between these two coils is so incredibly small. It measured about 10 femtofarads, which is 1/100th of a millionth of a farad. But later I ran some detailed circuit simulations, which confirmed that even this amazingly small amount of coupling can pass dangerous amounts of power between two well-tuned Tesla coils, all through the magic of resonance. After this discovery, a friend, Mike Kinnan, felt rather strongly that light bulbs were a terrible choice for a test load. He thought this effect should be used to push his lazy butt around. So he built the world's first real Tesla Roadster. There's an aerial up here, and this aerial consists of a bunch of welding rods that form a disc shape, and that establishes an area where it can collect electric field lines that ultimately come from the transmitting coil. That energy goes down here to a little resonant transformer mounted on the frame. And this transformer can be quite small because the operating frequency is so high. The transformer steps down the voltage to about 200 volts or so and runs this 180 volt gear motor over here. And then the gear motor is just linked to the drive axle under the seat. That's all it is. Here's a short video clip of the Tesla Roadster in action at a Maker Faire a while back. Note that Mike is wearing heavy welding gloves. He kept complaining about getting shocks from holding the steering grips. It's too bad we didn't collect the energy from him as well. Oh, when the cart starts moving, you can see some lively sparking down here from the grounding chain that drags behind the Roadster. He could have kept going around and around, but we had all this other stuff in the way. These little carts that are rotating in place are smaller prototypes of Tesla Roadsters that, whenever the electric field's high enough, they just start spinning in circles. So, would Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower have worked? For near-field applications, absolutely. Even the accidental rig that we had could deliver over 1 horsepower. A machine the size of Wardenclyffe could easily deliver 30 horsepower to local loads in the area. What about far-field coupling to the ionosphere and beyond? My intuition still says no. But then again, you could say my intuition has already been burned once by my experience with this.